And my final tips about mix compression. So I'm sure a lot of mix engineers are used to working with a stereo mix compressor as a way of gluing your mixes together. The thing about Dolby Atmos mix is it doesn't really have a mix bus. So I'm going to show you a way that I use linked compressors to kind of get that glue and cohesion of a mix compressor, but within a Dolby Atmos mix. So the concept basically involves linking a bunch of compressors, and I've also used an EQ here as well. So there's mix EQ, mix compression, whatever processes you like to use. Normally on your stereo mix bus, you can apply the same sort of thinking here. And just to sort of remind you of why we use mix compression in the first place, it's really to sort of glue things together and maybe impart some of that, whatever kind of tone you want to get from your favorite compressor. And similarly with mix EQ, it's just, it's a kind of mastering stage as well, and trying to get that overall sheen to your mix. So the way that I've set this up, you can see in my inserts F to J, anything where I want to apply this mix bus processing, I've used a compressor. So I'm using the Shadow Hills Class A mastering compressor for this, and then a mix EQ, and I'm using FabFilter Pro Q3 for this. So I've put all those on the channels, and then I've made a group of those channels, and I've made sure when I've made that group that I've linked certain attributes. So we've linked the controls and the bypass of inserts G and H. So that's the slot that those processors are actually sitting in. So they'll be linked together. When I move a control on one of them, it'll move it on the other one. A little fiddly to set up, but it's worth doing, I think, in order to achieve what we're doing in terms of mix compression and mix bus processing. The other thing we need to do is route signal from each of those to a bus. So I'm just using bus 11 and routing 0 dB of all of those, and then we're going to pick up that signal in the sidechain. So I picked up bus 11 there as the sidechain to my compressor. So let's just kind of prove that that's working first of all. If I open up say an EQ on my beat stem and also on something else like the bass, when I change one of them, it should change the other. So let's put a new, there we go. You can see that is applying to both of them there. And let's just play the track and listen to the effect before and after. So some relatively light compression, but just kind of gluing things together. If we bypass, quite a small change, but yeah, just that sense that it's not quite as glued together as it was before with the compressor on. A little low end boost as well, which is part of the kind of processing of this particular compressor. And then with the EQ, let's just move a filter around and hear the effect that has. So just adding brightness there. So whatever changes we want to make, we can do that. And that's my approach to mix bus processing within a Dolby Atmos mix.